Valentine's Day is right around the corner, assuming that I actually get this video out on time. I won't. And this romantic season has gotten me into a bit of a romantic spirit, so I figured I'd do a bit of a favor for all the single, taken gamers out there and talk about a few wonderful games that are just a treat to play with your lovely partner. Stardew Valley is quite possibly the quintessential couples game. It is a cute, low-energy, cozy farming game that takes place in a small, tight-knit community. The game is chock full of fun little activities you can do together or separately, all the while working together towards the common goal of saving the farm. You can fish, forage, explore, talk to townsfolk, tend the farm, give yourself arthritis by speedrunning the mines. This is an actual real thing that happened to my cousin one time. You could even get married and have a family together. Truly, this is a game with a little something for every couple. The game's multiplayer can be played in a truly horrendous split screen or through online play, making it a great game for long-distance couples or couples that just happen to have two Switches. Stardew Valley is quite simply the ultimate couples game, and if you and your partner aren't already playing it together, have you maybe considered that just one or both of you maybe doesn't like video games that much? It Takes Two is a game that I have not played, but if I didn't at least mention it, someone was gonna say something and I didn't want to deal with that. It Takes Two is a game about a married couple on the verge of divorce who rediscover their love for one another through the magic of being turned into toys as punishment for neglecting their only daughter. Games are weird, man. What do you want me to say? This game is an action-adventure puzzle platformer, which seems to be the premier genre for cozy couple games. And from what I can tell, it does seem like it's a really good game. I mean, it did win Game of the Year after all, and that is no small achievement, even in a weak-ass year like 2021. And while I have, again, not played this game yet, I have watched other people play it, and even as a spectator, I can still appreciate the game's rich, meaningful, and honest story, and I think that the level design does a great job of enforcing constant collaboration while also ensuring that both players are equally contributing to their combined progression in their own unique ways. Yeah, my partner and I have really got to get on this shit. Bokura is a cute little puzzle platformer about two friends climbing a mountain. And absolutely nothing else. Bokura's central gimmick is one of the most unique in any game I have ever played. It is a game that can only be played with two players, no more, no less, and each player is greeted with completely unique visuals and level designs. You and your partner are effectively playing two completely different games, but you still have to work together to solve Bokura's unique arsenal of creative and complex puzzles to make any progress in the game's heartfelt and powerful story. The game actively stresses the importance of trust, communication, and working together even if you don't always know exactly what you're working on, and the result is a genuinely incredible co-op experience that might just make your relationship a little bit stronger. Fuck these fucking dogs though, dude. They're stupid and dumb and none of their puzzles are fun. Cooking Mama is a series of cooking-themed minigame compilations originating on the Nintendo DS before eventually making their way to a few other systems. And as far as I know, the original entries on the DS are largely single-player, but the follow-ups on Wii have surprisingly substantial multiplayer modes, and I think this franchise's multiplayer might just be my favorite way to play it. Each of this series' many recipes sees you playing multiple short minigames in quick succession. At times the game can feel almost like WarioWare, but with a cute aesthetic and cozy vibes instead of irreverent wackiness and gross out humor. It's a lot of fun to play, both alone and with a partner, and it uses the Wii's motion controls in a ton of unique and interesting ways. And it certainly doesn't hurt that it simulates one of the most fun activities you can do as a couple. Cooking together. Of course, no game could ever beat the real thing, but cooking together every single night can get kind of expensive and time-consuming, and suddenly a $10 Wii game is looking pretty appetizing. Unravel 2 is, surprise surprise, another two-player co-op puzzle platformer, and also one of the cutest games I have ever played. Its central gimmick is the size of the playable characters, and also the fact that they're made out of yarn, and much like any good game about being tiny, a lot of the game's charm comes from the way that being small recontextualizes every object and environment you interact with and allows the developers to create unique levels and striking visuals that really wouldn't be possible in any other context. Once again, Unravel 2 is a game all about working together, making it the perfect game to play with someone you love. Okay, but how about a couple of examples that don't really fit the theme, but I kinda wanted to talk about them anyway. Bloons Tower Defense 6 is a great game for couples because it's a fast-paced, silly, low gameplay co-op co-op game that basically plays itself for the first half of every game, giving you plenty of time to just chill out and talk about anything while you play together. And then it throws you into the most insane, incomprehensible bullshit hellscape fuckfest and forces the two of you to work together, communicate, and strategize in perfect harmony. It is the ultimate test of your ability to work as a team, and if you can't clear these maps on expert difficulty, you probably can't clear your wedding night either. Rhythm games are a great way to get to know your partner through their music taste, while also being the rare example of an entire genre of games that lets a couple directly compete against one another in a lower stakes situation than, say, a fighting game or an FPS. Rhythm games can get pretty intense, but the actual gameplay is rarely all that complicated, and many of them allow each player to customize the difficulty to their own separate skill level without affecting the other player, making it a very easy genre to jump into as a couple. It's also one of the few genres where damn near every game is designed with split screen in mind, making it a great in-person multiplayer experience. Personally, I fucking love rhythm games, and there are a few things that I enjoy more than getting my ass absolutely handed to me by my beautiful, awesome, incredible, insanely rhythm game min-maxed girlfriend. Portal 2 is really just a great game to play with another person, dating or otherwise. It's a puzzle game that's just complex enough to make you hate each other, but with stakes just low enough to be a downright hilarious experience. And it doesn't hurt that it's also just one of the greatest games ever made. So there you go, a couple of great games to play with your partner, either on the actual Valentine's Day or more likely just whenever you guys feel like it. And for those of you who are single and for whatever reason still watched this video all the way to the end, why? I mean, thank you for your support, but why? And second of all, you can have some recommendations too. You deserve it. Consider it a thank you for watching. Persona 3 just came out. You can pretend to date people in that. Dark Souls and Bloodborne are great games to dedicate your entire life to, so you won't even have time to think about how alone you are. Catherine Full Body might just make you glad to not be in a relationship, and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is shaping up to be one of the greatest games ever made. And this series' former protagonist Kiryu Kazuma is gonna die a virgin too, so it's even relatable!